Grumpy old man.
Hello! We are Grumpy Old Men. We are from the Netherlands. This is Peter, I'm Mark, and we're gonna talk about a musician we are a massive, huge fan from already. We know each other around 40 years, and like that period, we're also a massive fan from Allan Holdsworth. So when I said to Peter, let's talk about Allan Holdsworth, he texted me a list from around 90 albums. Well, I'm lucky, I've got around 40. So, but we're gonna talk about all the albums, and we're gonna talk about the bands he played in, his solo albums, the odd collaborations near the end, and of course some live recordings and even some live shows we attended. So, and are we lucky, Pete, that the guy didn't pick up a saxophone like he was intended? He was a massive fan of John Coltrane, but he picked up the guitar and later developed his beautiful velvet legato sound. Legato. Legato, di mamma. Legato sound. But I start, as always, with my first question. When did you discover Allan Holdsworth, Pete?
Yes, well, let me first say, as this massive collection can't be put in one episode, we're gonna split it up in a couple of episodes. And this month is the month in which he died a couple of years ago.
In April.
Yeah, in April.
Yeah.
Which year? Okay.
Yeah.
We
even did a Remembrance evening.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we tried to drink his favorite drink.
Yeah.
It was a mix of gin and tequila, or
yeah,
I don't
something,
know, but it was
horrible. Yeah.
Geez. Okay. Well.
There you know. I first discovered. Well, I already had the album from UK. And well, I heard the guitar playing there, but it didn't really occur. I didn't hear it.
No.
Let's say I heard the total sound of UK, but not his guitar playing. And then sometime later on, I think, I don't know how exactly, but Frank van Remme again was a friend of Mark, and he sold a couple of records, and I bought Feels Good. No, the other one. One of a Kind, and I was immediately floored by how great the guitar playing was, and then I realized, man, he's on the UK album. And then I discovered all the albums before that. I went back and listened to all the other stuff. We're going to talk about that, of course, later on. And then I was so mesmerized by everything he did, so I bought every album I could get.
You had everything in that time.
Yeah, and I'm also all the CDs, and then I've went into tape trading with a lot of people around the world. Funny story is that on the Facebook page from Holdsworth there is a guy called Chip Flynn, and he knows everything about Holdsworth. In his England period and his US period, he was a close friend of Holdsworth.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know that, but I traded tapes with him. He sent me some private tapes. He asked me not to trade them with other people, and
but that was in the 80s.
That was maybe 80. No, well, yeah, maybe 80s, 90s, something like that. Yeah, and later on, I thought, well, is this the same guy I talked to in the 90s. So I asked through Facebook, "Are you?" And indeed he was. So that was quite funny to contact him again. And going back and listening to all stuff he did over the years, you can hear, of course, his playing. We have some. Let's say we have some periods where we enjoyed him more than other periods, where he tried to experiment with his sound and I think the whole syntax stuff. I understand as a guitar player you want to expand and you want to do something, but as a fan,
for me it was like so many bands, like I loved them from like let's say 74 until 84, and after that I lost them. And also with Holdsworth, maybe it's our loss. Somebody who started in 86 or something said, wow, great, and the syntax and lovely, and working his way back. But yeah, the change for us was too much or something. Of course, later we discovered a few other albums in the 90s that were also great. But that was really the great period of time where he developed also his own sound.
Signature sound, yeah.
And that's so difficult. You have so many guitar players. And if you hear Holdsworth, you have to hear him 2 seconds. And then you can say, yeah, that's Holdsworth. That's so great if guitar player can stand out. You only have like maybe 100 guitar players in the world that you can say, wow, that's him.
And so, funny story, of course, is also that he is not that well known. But all the guitar players do know him. Because he has such an influence on every type of music. In an episode later on, we will talk about guitar players who are influenced by him, which also is great because they incorporated his sound in their sound, and that's
just copied it.
Or just copied it.
Really.
Yeah. That's true.
So. My first encounter, I was still on school, starting to get into music. I've only got a few albums, Genesis, Jazz, Mike Oldfield, Uriah Heep, and a few guys from my class in that time, in 78, they went to a concert from Genesis. So when they were coming back, they said, they were really enthusiastic about the concert from Genesis, but they were even more enthusiastic about music that was played before the concert. And they said, and there was a guitar solo in it, and we don't know which band. Now later we discovered it was UK. So then I think in 79 or something, a year later I bought UK, and then also through Frank van Remme, he sold me his Feels Good to Me, Bruford, later on, and then I still didn't get it. But UK, now we're gonna talk about it. So, well, we have got an enormous pile. You say we have Allan Holdsworth month in April, but I think it will last to November if I see this. So, let's start, Pete, with the list.
Well, the problem is, of course, I had an awful lot of CDs and albums, and I just sold them all and put them on my hard drive. So I do have them, but I don't have physically the copies of it. So let's, for instance, start in 1969, where Holdsworth just came out of his shell, let's say that or so. Or he was really interested in jazz and wanted to be indeed a saxophone player, but got an acoustic guitar instead. Thank God for that. And he teamed up with a couple other guys and made an album called Igginbottom Ranch. We don't have a copy here, but I will put it on screen. Which is a psychedelic 60s rock, jazzy stuff also there, but already he is clearly in there because there are a couple of guitar solos which are really fast, and he just plays really fast in that first period. We'll talk later on how that developed, but there he plays his stuff. And the fun part is that there is already a song on there which is also coming back on his Velvet Darkness album under a different name and then instrumental. But this time on this first album he sings. He also sings on other songs. He also had got a great voice. Not too heavy, but I think he got a good voice. I rather listen to him than I listen to André Hazes. But well, let's not mention him. But I think it's a nice album. Not one I will play every day, but it's a great. I think it's a great album.
Yeah. Well, you texted me and you said, I know you don't like it, but please have a listen to it, and especially to the song Golden Lakes. So I listened to it. Yeah, for me it's a bit too 60s. It's not his sound I like. It's more of a clean, jazzy sound. He's playing, of course he's playing well. The vocals, well, I think on some songs the vocals are a bit off, but not on that song in here. Has even a bit of that hoarse jazz voices. Yeah, but what is my reference? Chet Baker, Bobby Kimball from
okay.
And also the guitar playing. What is my reference? Allan Holdsworth himself. So, yeah, for me it's a bit too premature to like this album, but it's nice to hear where he's starting from.
Yeah, right.
And his journey.
Right.
So that is really nice. So, okay.
Okay, and then there's a period where he doesn't make an album. He goes into all kinds of improvised bands and plays a lot of jazzy stuff. And then he's picked up by Ian Carr, a guy who is a trumpet player, I believe, and he got a sort of big band. You got the album? Yeah, this one, right?
This one.
And that one is Belladonna from Ian Carr. What can I say? It's all jazz, and there is one song where I'm not sure which song.
Hector's House?
Oh, yeah, that could be.
That's an insane solo.
Yeah,
that's an insane solo on that song.
There's not much guitar playing on the other songs, but that song is.
Yeah. So it's the typical English jazz rock from that period. Great trumpet player. I hate this kind of covers because it's upside down or always troubles. But okay, that was Ian
Carr. Yeah, from, I don't know if John Heisman from Colosseum picked him up or something.
Yeah, he recruited all the members for Tempest.
Right, and then he formed the band Tempest, John Heisman, that is, and he asked Holdsworth to play on this album. And also nice is to know that the vocalist on this album is, now I forgot his name, of course. Paul Williams, who also plays with him later on, very later on to be exact. Yeah, that's great. Tempest, and there is a traditional. I don't have it here, of course. There is a transitional period. Tempest. There is a second album of Tempest, which doesn't Holdsworth play on, but Ollie Holsall. But there is a bootleg from the BBC where Ollie Holsall and Holdsworth play together on Tempest material. And Ollie Holsall is the guy who showed him how to work his tremolo. And from that point on, he started to get that sound which we all like.
what great. Well, anyway, it's a great band with the late John Heisman.
Yeah.
Little sidestep, we already thought, but we saw John Heisman once in the BIM House, small jazz club. We didn't know our way to the toilets. We saw a guy walking and we asked the directions. The guy gave perfectly directions. And after that we fainted because it was John Heisman himself. And it was a really great concert, great drummer. And I Paul Williams, I love his voice.
Yeah,
it's not.
Well, I think it's a bit.
You have to get used to it.
I think he sounds a bit like Jack Bruce.
Yeah.
Because I got the feeling John Heisman wanted to recreate Cream or a bit with his band.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit, but Holdsworth is just another guitar player than Clapton. So that wasn't the case.
But I think, especially Paul Williams later on other albums, I think, man, how can you sing over that kind of chords? And but we're gonna talk later about that.
Right.
So then we are going to
Soft Machine.
Bundles.
He was asked after that band to play in Soft Machine. Of course, already established band, but didn't have a guitar player until this album, Bundles, where Holdsworth does an incredible job. And I can vividly remember listening that first song, Hazard Profile, where there's a very long guitar solo. And just when you think it's over, they play some ending or something that the song will end, and then it slows down something, and then he just picks up and goes again, and it takes I think it's a solo for about 5-6 minutes or so. Yeah. Incredible guitar solo.
Yeah.
And then, well, if I wasn't a fan then. I was it at the moment I heard it solo. That was so incredibly good, so interesting, so totally different than everything I ever heard. So great album, by the way. The whole album is incredibly good. There are a couple of songs which Holdsworth also initiated, and really interesting stuff. Of course, there is a live concert from that lineup, and it's also on YouTube. You have to check it out. It's incredible stuff.
Yeah, no, I had it also with opening notes of Bundles when I thought, he really starts developing his own sound and the length of the back snake. I also love that song. It's more relaxed and it's a great album. Do you mean that like in that live concert in Switzerland or something?
Right.
Yeah, I've got
it's somewhere there.
Somewhere there, but here it is.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, that's the. So it's also on DVD and CD, and if you don't have it and you know the Bundles album, check this out.
Yeah.
This is
So you notice already we try to have a bit of a chronology, but we are also going a bit back and forth in time, so that means chaos. So,
by the way, I want to mention this book because a lot of research and stuff also comes from this book. Ed Chang did write this book, Allan Holdsworth, Devil Take the Hindmost. It's an incredible good book. He dissects every song about in the first measure he plays this and etc. But also great stories how his career went. So if you don't have this book and you are a really Holdsworth fan, check it out.
I put it here so that we know.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. That we don't show it the second time. Okay, Bundles. After Bundles, he didn't quit soft machine, but he played in a jazz club with some other guys. And in that jazz club there was Alphonso Johnson. And he heard Holdsworth playing, and after a while Tony Williams contacted Alphonso Johnson for a new band called the New Tony Williams Lifetime, because this was Lifetime 2. And he couldn't play in that band, and he said, you have to check out this great guitar player I saw playing in England, Allan Holdsworth. And he did. So Tony Williams contacted Allan to play on some stuff while being in Sweden. So he went to Sweden with Jack Bruce and Tony Williams and played some stuff. And there also on YouTube there are some recordings of those recordings. But how was it called? Wildfire. Check it out, Wildfire, great. Some stuff working his way up to the album we're going to talk about, I think now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the New Tony Williams Lifetime Believe It album. Well,
yeah.
What can I say? This is one of the best improvised, semi-improvised albums, jazz albums I know. All well, they start with a header and then they go, and then somebody signals and they end, and then it's over, and it's all recorded live in the studio. There isn't any trickery, there's no overdubs, whatever. It's just recorded live, and you hear it, and it's so incredible good.
Yeah.
And there we're gonna hear a little bit more of the involvement of the new way Holdsworth trying to play with he uses his tremolo a lot, and one of the tricks is, for instance, pushing the bar down, fretting a note and let it come up, so you hear and when you do that very slowly, then it's gonna be all more fluid than picking a note.
Yeah.
And that became all more his style of playing legato. So he doesn't pick all the notes, no, he just uses hammer-ons, so you hammer with your fingers on the fretboard.
But he had also big hands, eh? You could pick chords that you really have to. You saw sometimes.
I have that book for reaching the uncommon chord, and then you see his hands. I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So, what do you say?
Yeah, for me, of course, I'm a drummer, so Tony Williams, we saw him once.
Yeah.
It was great with the jazz trio, and man, what a drummer. He's that drummer, he starts always his rolls, and then as a drummer you think, well, he can't finish this, where does he has to finish? Bam, right on the one, it's unbelievable. Goodbye. No, we have put a little egg clock to tell us where the time is. So, okay, let's finish the first part with Believe It. So you have that song Fret, with that velvet open and close hi-hat and all the things he does in betweens. I also written down, here you can, from Holdsworth, hearing his sound, what was to become. So that was what you were talking about. What you said, it's a very live recording, and you can hear that because Holdsworth is making a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe a couple, but in the song Fret, on 6 minutes 20, he misses the first chords from some accents. So then I really thought, wow, this is really a live recording, and they didn't care. They just went for the right performance. And of course, the song Proto Cosmos is really great, a great song. So, okay, well.
We're going to finish up this episode.
Yeah.
We're only 1, 2, 3, 5, only 5 albums away off, so we have another 60 to go.
See you in part 2.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. It was wonderful! Bravo!
I loved that.
Yeah, it was great.
It was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
We're doomed.
We're dead already.